Hello, and welcome to Many Adventures Mini. So this week, as you've seen in the title, I'm showing you how to put some dynamic effects on tiles or terrain pieces, like things like magic circles or blood splatters, so that you can have these effects and put them in scenes for games of D&D and whatnot, but that they don't necessarily have to be built into the tile or the piece of terrain that you've either purchased or made, one way or the other. This is a little pet project I was working on this week, and I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but it turned out to be shockingly easy and very nice look when you got done with it. So I felt I needed to share, so I decided to record this for this week and put it up. So let's go ahead and move over to the work desk, and I will show you how I put this together because I think it's really cool. Alright, so here we are. I apologize for the audio quality on here. The microphone setup I have for the work desk area isn't quite as good as at my normal recording area, but we'll see how this goes. So what I wanted to show you is I bought these clear plastic sheets. These ones that I bought are designed to be printable, and I'll go ahead and put a link to the specific Amazon page where I ordered this exact stuff. You can probably find similar stuff, but I'll link to the exact stuff that I used so that you can use it when or if you decide to follow this project. So I'm just going to bring in a piece of paper so it's easier to see. So these are just a handful of magic circle images. It's just some clip art that I found online that I downloaded, and I put it on a Word document, and I just printed it out on a normal inkjet printer. My printer is only like a $20 printer from Walmart, so it works fine even with those pretty low quality ones, and these are some pretty outstanding looking results. So let's go ahead. I found that the best way to cut these out is just to take a normal pair of scissors and then just be careful and work your way around. You can use something like an X-Acto knife or your typical hobby knife if you would prefer, but I found when I tried it that way that you just have less control, and the scissors work perfectly fine and accurate for this application. So I found it to be the best source. And so simple as that. You can see it's a little rough around the edges. You can be a little bit more precise or cut closer if you so desire, but I don't think it's really all that necessary. And then just to display how these work, I have a couple of things. This is one of my 3D tiles I've made out of my pink foam that I use in games. So you just stick one of these on there, and voila, you have a magic circle effect sitting on your tile. It's really, really cool. And then I can also show you, this is a little like cardstock, flat, like double-sided tile. You see it a lot, and it's common use for D&D games. These probably work even better on these. They show up really well, and it just looks awesome. And this one shows like a basic tower, but throw a little magic circle in there, and voila, you've like instantly got a wizard's tower or something like that, and it's a really cool effect. And you can see I've also printed off some of these larger ones, so I won't cut it out quite yet, but throw it on there and you've got a larger, more intricate magic circle. It all depends on how large you decide to scale the magic circles on the web document or the Word document, or however you decide to put it together to print. So I designed these smaller ones to fit in a 2x2 square area, and then these larger ones will fit in a 4x4 area, which I thought looked really cool and is what I decided to go with in the long run. I might make some more of these in the future. And then in addition to these, I also have what I printed out. They're a little difficult to see. Let me get the paper. These are just a bunch of blood splatter textures that can be used if you're like having players coming across like a crime scene where somebody's been murdered or a battlefield or something. So I have a few of these cut out, but like you can even layer them on top of each other with this, like, and throw some blood splatter on top of this magic circle to make it look like somebody's been sacrificed or something and there's been a battle in here. So it's very dynamic and you can layer it up. And there are probably more textures and effects you could go for in addition to this, more than just the magic circles and blood splatter. As an example of one that doesn't work as well as I hoped it would, I was hoping to get some sort of like dirty effect, and going through it, I printed out, let me just clear this up with her a second. Alright. So I had printed out this, which is kind of like a dirt road texture, and putting it on like white paper here, that looks pretty cool and fine, and I would enjoy like having that on there, but the transparency kind of worked against me here. So as like an example, you can see a little bit like on the green of this, it's really dark and shows the green through more than I would like on like the dirt road section. So I don't know if I would consider this a success or not. I might could use like patches of something like this to make an area look dirty without having to dirty up a tile or something like that, but this is something I might play around with more in the future, but in this particular way that I tried it, it didn't really work out. But it's really just as simple as that. You get your different magic circles, you get like some blood splatter. I'm sure there are other things that clever people could easily come up with to make this kind of thing even more of an effect. But I thought that this worked fantastically for what I was going for, and I needed to share it. All right, let's go ahead and hop back over, and we will wrap this up. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. I know this is a little bit of a departure from my normal content, but like I was saying, this was a bit of a pet project I was working on, and it worked out so well, I decided I had to share and put a video out there so that other people could get in on this. So like I said before, I will put a link down in the description linking to the Amazon page where I bought this particular plastic sheet. It says that it's designed to work with any normal inkjet printer. Mine is a pretty cheap one, so the fact that I got some pretty good results out of it should speak pretty highly. I was pretty happy with this, and I'm sure that some creative people could probably get some much more interesting effects out of it than I did. I've only had the idea so far for like the magic circles and blood splatter and maybe some grime or something, so let me know if you have any other cool ideas for the kinds of image textures you could use to enhance existing tiles and terrain in this fashion. I'd love to hear more about it. So without further ado, I guess if you have any comments for me, please put them down below. I love hearing from everybody that's willing to put something in. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and go ahead and share it around so that more people can know about this cool technique. It's really useful. If you want to see more of my videos in the future, please go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell icon down below so you get notified whenever any of my videos go up. And if you're interested, please go ahead and check out my Etsy store where I sell some of the models and things that I've made on the channel, as well as off the channel. But there's a link for that down in the description as well. Or if you're interested in supporting me in another way, you can check out my Patreon page, which I will also link down in the description. And with that, I hope to see everybody here again next week.